the Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI, here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. I'm the coach of PRI, Rick Gailey, along with our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nato. And we're joined today by the head football coach of the De La Salle Cavaliers, Ryan Manale. And Coach Manale, we've been waiting a while to get you here on the show. Thank you for joining us here today.
It's an honor to be here, Coach. And I do notice the color of shirt you're wearing. It's close, probably. It's very nice. I love it. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
You know, Ryan, this is your fourth year, and you spent 13 years in coaching before you arrived at De La Salle, but you had some speed bumps to overcome. I guess you went 9-2 this year. Recorded the first playoff win last year since 1976. You had some things to overcome, but having said that, this was really a very special year for you guys. I mean, you kind of lifted De La Salle to a different level.
No, it was special, and you know, one thing we did when we took over, and before I started at De La Salle, Corey Bordelon was there, and you could tell he instilled discipline and did a good job, a great job with what he had to work with. And we wanted to put the people in place, the right people in place, and that's what we started to do. And everything just fell into place with our administration, our whole faculty, coaching staff. There was plenty of yeses. I just totally lucked out early, and you know, and fortunately had some good quality, talented young men coming to De La Salle, and it took 4 years, and I'm just very proud of this group right here to give us them shoes to fill from here on out.
And whenever you start a new program, and you could basically say that you started from scratch in bringing De La Salle back to what we know it can be, it's all about changing the culture. Tell us some of the steps that you had to take in the beginning to not only change the culture, the work habits and the like, but you had to get more kids involved in the program as well. Talk about that.
You know, the first thing is, I brought in each senior and then junior, everybody, all the 20, 30 kids that once I rattled the cage in the classrooms and try to get a few more out there, we may have got up to 35, and I met with each and every one of them, and the big thing was with them was, when they walked around the school, it was almost like a laugh to play, a joke to play for De La Salle football. And I remember at Tad Gormley at practice one day, I kind of let the kids have it about it. That day's over with, and we give them something to be proud of. And it started that year. The big thing is, wear our colors with pride. And each and every day, there's more and more people I see pop up with a De La Salle shirt or a De La Salle magnet or a De La Salle yard sign. And the maroon and white colors are coming out. And with that, and having, great academics and great people in place at De La Salle leads to more numbers.
And the thing is, you had a successful year this year, Ryan, 9-2, but your pre-district schedule, you didn't back down. You're already in a tough schedule, but you didn't back down from anybody. And I kind of felt that this helped this group grow pretty quickly.
Yes. We first thing I did is my first year we went up to Union Parish, which was Farmerville back then. And they pretty much took it to us, and I thought I owed it to my seniors, and I reached out to Coach because I have a lot of respect for him, Coach Spat out there, and called him up and asked him about doing a home and home, and I thought it'd be real good for my seniors because that was their first taste of it, and really to see where our program went. It's a team that's always competing for a state championship, and so that was one of the first things. Then I had a couple coaches on my staff that told me about Hancock High, a 6A program. They were looking for a game to play in New Orleans, and where Brett Favre went, and I looked up them, and they were a quarterfinal team as well. And I just thought that all fell into place right there for week 2 and week 3 before we started big district. And it actually just this year, it just didn't wind up. I mean, it was great for us, but it really didn't wind up the way we wanted it because we really didn't get to play that 48-minute game until late in the year.
Now, the way you have to practice is somewhat interesting because there's no place on the campus, and Scout Island, which was available in the past, not Scout Island, but Audubon Park, was unavailable to you. Tell us about what you have to go through to find a practice site.
It's different. It's tough to follow De La Salle. If you were coming to watch us at practice, I have to deal with multiple phone calls and texts for the few De La Salle alums and that follow us to practice and parents, and you just never know where we're at, but it's tough. First year with not many kids, we were able to stay at school a little more. We have a 32-yard field at school, but while we have a lot of good our weight room and our locker room makes up for it, but it is something to get on a bus every day. It takes about 20 minutes to get to practice. We lose some meeting time, and then wherever we go, this year our home was at Horrell and Jefferson Playground, and and wherever we go, we have to be on the field for the youth ball to come, and then we get 20 minutes back. But I do think the chemistry and the kids being together and then bus rides are also important.
You're a proponent of kids playing other sports. I know some coaches sometimes they want to make sure they go through the season in spring practice, but a lot of your kids run track, baseball, basketball, and you feel like that really helps overall development, doesn't it?
I love about De La Salle is we have the right people in the right place. I have coaches that I can either communicate with. We always communicate. Through text, phone call. I trust them. They trust me. And I think the more my kids can be around other coaches that we have, the people in place, they always can learn something. So I think it's great.
And your administration has a lot to do with that, and you've had to go through an administrative change, as a matter of fact. Some people that I knew very, very well. Dr. Michael Gilliott was the head of De La Salle, and he passed away last year. And Miles Sagers, who was the principal, has now taken over as the president. I believe somebody else that I'm very familiar with. Talk about how influential the administration has been, not only in when you started, but also their transition this year.
Absolutely. First off, a couple of them people that just fell into place. Dr. Sagers who's there now. I knew the name. From Rummel High School back then, and a couple of different people. Mutual friends that we know. Everybody talks about how good a guy it is, and getting to be with him these last years, he's taught me a few things. And then Dr. Gilliott, when it started, I didn't know Dr. Mike Gilliott from anything, and the way he impacted my life in such a short time, I would have thought he raised me. Just how positive he can be with a smile, no matter what it is. And this year was very special as we went off and started 9-0 and we're not ranked in the second in the state. Very, very special to me. Every game I had an MG patch on my coach's jersey, coach's shirt, and all my players had it on the helmet for this 1 year. And we have a unique tradition at school. When we come back to the game, we raise a 12-man flag, a W flag for the crowd. We have a big cookout. We have like a big tailgate after the game. Just things that we put in place. And every time I got up on that ladder and to raise that flag, I just saw him smiling down on us, and just what a great guy to come in contact with.
Absolutely. That's Coach Ryan Manale of the De La Salle Cavaliers, done some remarkable things on St. Charles Avenue. Ryan, thank you for being here today, and I'm right there with you. I know Dr. Gilliott, Michael, as I know him, is smiling down on you as well. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
We're here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. This is Prep Recruiting Insider. We're going to be right back with some De La Salle athletes after this timeout. This is PRI.